No, you were
So Jeff Doug, under Peter's leadership, Victoria University is like ranked 9th in the world in sport. So that's
oh yeah, we're a sports science university.
Yeah.
Sports science.
Oh,
really? Yeah, well, it's probably the leading sport university in Australia. We have a lot of connections with all different sporting codes, and because sports science, I guess, has become a big thing in modern
The
traditions.
Victoria Uni.
Yeah.
Is that associated obviously with Victoria?
Yes. Yeah, so it's based in Melbourne, but we have a Sydney campus, and that's what this is here.
Okay.
And so students who want to come to study in Sydney, particularly overseas students, many of whom come from India, or the one we spoke today was from Nepal.
Nepal, yeah.
And so there are some people who really love to come to Sydney, but they want to come to Victoria University to do what the particular offer that we've got. So the latest thing we've done, we've been talking about today, is we've changed the whole way in which students learn. So we've abolished lectures. You know how students used to go and sit in lectures for an hour, listen to the lecturer speak, and there'd be about 300 in the lecture theatre. So we just do small classes with about 30 students, and they just do one subject at a time. So most students in most universities might be doing 4 different subjects at a time. They'd be going in and out of different classes. Whereas in our model, you do one subject at a time, and you're with a teacher for 9 hours a week.
So Jeff,
and this is a unique thing in Australia, and it's having a transformational effect on students.
yeah, this is a very big legacy Peter's leaving behind, because I can relate to that. I came from India to study. I was in Wollongong University, coming from a very different culture, very different ways of learning there, and you're pretty much independent. You go to a classroom which is 150 student day 1 in my language, and you can't even talk to the professor. So we really struggled with that. And what Peter has done is to support university students from low economic background in Melbourne, and where there is always a challenge. It's not just education. There's so many other issues they have to face financially and family and everything else. So to improve that, Peter brought this. It's called Block Model. They've won several awards at university, and overall you need to focus one thing at a time. And the pass rate improved. The students are so happy now, and it's a very small classroom, and there are no lecturers. There are no lectures, not lecturers, but lecturers.
Well, there's a teacher.
So you say you do the one subject, what, all day?
So that's trying to explain that. So in a normal university, you would be doing 4 subjects, and it would take you a whole semester, say 13 weeks, and you might go to 3 hours of classes for each of the 4 subjects in a week. So you do 12 hours of classes across 4 subjects, but then you'd be doing assignments and study on top of it as well. So instead of that, we instead of doing all together, we do them sequentially. So you do the first one you do for 4 weeks, and you're with the teacher for 9 hours in the week, but then you do extra assignments and study beyond that. So you're not being distracted by having to do something else. You're just focusing on the one subject for a 4-week period. Because you're just doing the one subject, you can do it in 4 weeks instead of the 13.
So it's an accelerated course, effectively, is what you're saying.
In time, it's accelerated. It's as much time on task. You do as much time in the classroom, as much time studying. It's just you're just doing one thing instead of 4, and that means you can do it 4 times quicker.
It builds so much confidence. So think about Chinese or South American or Indians coming to Australia to study, and they need to find accommodation, they need to find jobs, casual jobs. Plus on the top, you're doing 4 subjects, 4 assignments every couple of weeks. And the reality is, there are like 40-50% of students that fail. And that's one of the biggest cause for attrition. And then what happens, they give up. There's a big shame culture, that if you don't do well. And then they do use shortcuts. They go to private providers. They make an easy option, which is really bad for the student and for the university. So this.
So what's the strike rate on this format?
This is like 84 to 94%.
Wow.
Our pass rate has gone to postgraduate level, and undergraduate is between 85 to 94%.
Yeah.
So VU in Melbourne has gone from
Yeah.
71 or 76 to 84% pass rate. So, and like what I feel is, you know, the students get confidence, because what happens is otherwise you're set to fail. You come to Australia, brand new, like it's a very different culture. You need to, you know, find the jobs and so on. And then what the start you have is you fail in all the 4 subjects, and so it's very difficult.
You haven't been getting on 3.
Yeah, no, 3 and 4 is still the same. But what I'm saying is, at the moment, what happens? They come, they do one subject, they pass. They're so confident. It just boosts them, you know. It's like, you know, if I'm batting and with the first ball that I have to face, I'll probably quit cricket.
Keep doing ducks when no one gave me.
I mean, how did you, when you batted against Jeffrey, so what was your approach to, so did you hook?
No.
Did you just let it go?
Yeah.
Nobody hooked him.
Yeah.
It wasn't because he couldn't bat, he was one of the best. That's right.
But, you know, because in those days, you weren't wearing helmets, were you?
No.
So, and when I played, helmets only came in at the end. And I, for quite a long time, did open the batting, as well as being a spinner. And I never faced anything as fast as you, but I would face sharp. And I never did it, but I always kept my eye on the ball, and I never got hit in the head. Whereas with the helmets, they get hit in the head a lot. Don't they?
Isn't that amazing?
It's bad.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's a fact of
Well,
life.
you-
I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing. A lot more people don't seriously injured or killed without it. But you're right.
Yeah.
We actually watched the ball.
Yeah.
That's
They don't
So
want
Jeff,
to ball.
you know, look at the pitches.
Sorry?
The pitches at the time were the bouncy pitches, or like how were the pitch like if you compare it to the now?
Well, he'd know more than me, but every pitch in Australia was different. Now they do these drop-ins and that, and the cricket's boring, you know what I mean? It makes it bad, whereas you go to Sydney, it was a bit of change, and it always spun, but you had a bit of pace and that, and you knew that's how you knew that the quicker bowlers were old first, for later days, you know, the spinners would come into it. Adelaide was flattish, Perth was quick, Brisbane was same again, Melbourne used to be, but they're all different, and the batsmen had to learn to play on different pitches. These guys, if the pitch isn't flat, they don't want to know about it. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
If the ball does something, all these so-called heroes these days, unless you get a Coley or somebody like that, or one of our or Smith, the rest of them don't want to know. They'll just play the same shot, get out and blame the pitch. Is that right, Fred?
Did you see that shot Coley played over finally? Off, it seemed to be off stump from out the other night. He just went over finally. Then he got himself out.
Mind you,
Yeah.
he doesn't play Germany.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Unorthodox.
No, that was unusual for him, wasn't it?
He's got a
Yeah.
very.
He's not
No,
reverse sweeper or
I don't think those shots been getting played against the West Indies we played against in the past. Yeah,
Do you want all
it
this?
won't be too.
Why don't we all get
You-
in?
you two
Rupert,
go.
you come in.
No, you have.
All right, first one just with me.
You look a bit like David Lloyd there in the middle. It's a bit of a worry. If you're a left-hand batter.
Get a few.
Yeah. So,
They turn out all right with the bright young.
my
sure?
my former cricketing mates in England will
Might be
nice when I
better
send
if
them
you
to
do
you.
the other one.
better this way.
In this way.
Even Jeff knows what.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Oh, are we going over here?
Yeah, well,
Get a threesome first, because get that
Please.
David Lloyd and another quick David Lloyd.
3 women in there.
Good. All right.
You come into
Come normal.
Come
and I'll send this over to Steve Birch.
I shouldn't be holding a drink, but I will.
I know when you're going to fit in.
A bit closer. Jeff will think I'm touching him or something.
Yeah, that's it. Alright.
Okay, I'm going to get you. Aparna, by the way, just if you don't know, she has incredible reach in India at the moment. Like only as recently as 2 nights ago, there was a protest for farmers. Over 100 million. She was on a live report from Australia. She's on a daily live report now, so her face is more commonly known to the Indians. So I'm happy to have her here today to go.
Stop it now.
No, it's true. It's
So when are you,
absolutely true.
Oh, that's
working
great.
with the editing news or?
Yeah, editing
Yeah.
news.
You should meet Naseem. I'll introduce you today, and
That's it.
he he works for me at the moment, but he has worked for 20 news channels. 20 years.
Yeah, no,
So
right.
very well known.
Probably since the
Not
last
too
time I was
bad.
in.
Channels. So you should connect with him.
My dad.
Cheers, guys. Thanks heaps. We'll work for each other. Great job.
From that, I was film.
Yeah, he's here. I'll introduce you.
That action of yours is brilliant photograph on the screen. You are. Which I've got a shoulder problem. I can't get my arm up. It's absolutely unbelievable, that action.
I was just talking about you.
I mean, although some people say you're unorthodox, that position that you're in.
It was. I don't know. I was in Mackay a few years ago, and there was a kid out there.
Yeah.
And I said, who was that bloke out there taking the piss out of Jeff Thomson?
Right.
And the bloke said, you wouldn't believe it. It's his son.
Really?
And it's the only,
Bowling with
well,
the
both
same
of his sons bowl with the same action as he did.
Oh, yeah.
And if you
Talk
could
to
coach,
the young age.
if you could coach kids
I
to
didn't
bowl,
teach him.
They
if
just
you could
follow.
coach kids to bowl, everyone would bowl with that action. But they all threw javelins before I picked up a cricket ball.
Right.
That was the key. That was the key. I think definitely.
And talking about that, Crazy came yesterday.
Crazy.
He's got a bloke that threw javelins, and he's a baseball pitcher.
Yeah.
He's only 16. He throws at 80 miles an hour. But he happens to bowl
seniors from
fourth grade, third grade, fourth grade
Yeah.
in Brisbane.
Well, what does he do? Cricket? Was he doing cricket or athletics?
Well,
Especially sports.
no, he's a baseball pitcher.
Yeah.
So you must be knowing.
But he happens to bowl for one of the clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
But he
third
did
grade.
throw javelin.
Crazy shit. Play cricket, not baseball. He says you'll make more money out of cricket. than
Yeah,
baseball.
yeah.
But he wants
Yeah.
to
Comes
just work at some stage.
Yeah, yeah.
So Jeff, we have a campus in Brisbane as well. We're moving, opening one in Gold Coast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The perfect man to cut the
Chances may
ribbon.
have it.
Yeah, yeah.
How are you with scissors and sort of embroidery? Can you cut properly?
For what?
Well, opening up a university in bloody Queensland. Well,
Oh, cutting the ribbon.
I don't mean clothing. I mean.
I think it is making.
No.
Oh, man.
They sort of had me in a sweatshop.
One photograph.
Or we can put you in a
Take one photograph.
Yeah.
Right.
Professional photographer.
Oh, right.
Right. Can you get rid of my stomach, guys? Have you got photoshopping going on there?
Perfect one, Michelle.
Hang on, get rid of that drink.
Yes, perfect. Look at the camera. Perfect, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Actually, I want to get part of the shot because now that she's famous, you know, we've got to make sure that we're in with her.
Absolutely.
Guys.
Come in early.
Thank you, guys.
I just can't get too close to Jeff because he often touches me like this.
Look at the camera. Perfect one,
I've
Michelle.
got a drink again.
Perfect, guys.
Right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. That was brilliant. It's all you're doing. It's all you're doing, Neil.
I think that's very special actually.